So again, this will be focused more on us going through and doing a discussion about what we think, what we like about the games, and kind of get people excited and hyped. Because Immortal Gates of Pyre did a little trailer at the Game Fest, so we got to see that. It had a little bit of developer talk. Got people excited if you like RTSs, and I clearly like the game from being able to play it. I like being able to bounce around to different RTSs. Even though we've focused mainly on StarCraft over the years, also played Warcraft 3, Age of Empires. I've dabbled in pretty much any and all RTSs that I can. And so this is another one that I feel like can get added into that mix of great RTSs that other people can play. It's got some aspects of it that I really enjoy related to the micro aspect and the fact that it kind of takes aspects of the Warcraft 3 gameplay of, I need to creep around to get a resource. Instead of getting XP like in Warcraft 3 to level your hero up, you're getting that pyre that you can use almost Age of Mythology style and be like, all right, here's my main hero that's a part of me that I don't even have to have it running around, but I need this pyre to cast my spells. And it's a good way to kind of almost balance spellcasters in an RTS, because balancing spellcasters is extremely difficult, as we've seen in StarCraft 2, and we've talked about that many times before. But so I'm very excited to see where they're going to go. Right, it's still early, units are not fully fleshed out, but the base of the two races that are in there, the Karath and the Aru, are starting to really come together nicely, and it adds for unique gameplay. I definitely enjoy it because it's got a lot of micro and harassment aspects to distract people while you're creeping and getting pyre and stuff. So I keep bringing back that concept of it is micro focus, right? Compared to a lot of others, because there are fail safes of saying, I don't have to build workers because I essentially expand and I just press a button. It's going to make 2 workers. Press another button, it's going to make 2, and you get max of 6 workers at a expansion, at a base. And, those workers, when you press C to get your building tab up to start building something, it'll just pull a random worker that's closest to that site that you want to place that building and place it. You don't have to select a worker. So you really can focus more on microing and being able to be in the moment and battling and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for more Immortal Gates of Pyre. I'll be doing more gameplay of it, probably on stream. If you guys haven't seen, I've been back to doing more streaming stuff, which is twitch.tv/TheRealNanman. You guys can check it out. We're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday schedule right now, where Monday is going to be focused on Magic the Gathering. Tuesday and Wednesday are all about RTSs. So you guys can be able to see us play Immortal. You can see us play StarCraft, Age of Empires, Warcraft 3. We're just kind of in the realm of RTSs there. But we're not done with reacting and looking through stuff. We've got a Stormgate developer update to go through and talk about and give our first thoughts on what we think about Stormgate. We did do a first look reaction when Game Fest was going on with the ES Champ guys. So if you guys have not seen that video, check that out. That was the very first look reaction to something. But now they've announced a new thing at the PC Gaming Fest that has a little bit of gameplay. So we're going to go through, watch it, and talk about it real quick. So let's do that. The stuff that jumps out at me the most with the Stormgate developer update video is we actually got to see a little bit of footage. Oh, here's waves of units coming at us. Here's how stuff are interacting. Because originally for Game Fest, we just saw screenshots. And it's like, okay, I kind of see what's going on. I need to see a little bit more. And even the stuff that we saw was more of just live action shots of those screenshots. It wasn't so much gameplay like when we got to see the Immortal Gates of Pyre stuff. It's like, hey, we're in the pre-alpha, we're in the alpha, and there is gameplay footage. You can see it and interact with it. Where this, it's like, hey, it's next year, we're going to do the beta. So they're in this pre-alpha phase, but we don't really get too much. They've hinted at a story. The ongoing campaign aspect is what's got me interested, of like continual updates to a campaign. So it's not a one, traditional, here's the story, you're done. right? Which, makes me wonder, is it like almost co-op style of how they're doing it? New missions are going to get released, and how do they actually impact the overall story? I think one game that does well with the kind of ongoing campaign style story would be Sea of Thieves. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's like they do developer updates and add in new content. They have these things called Tall Tales that are like almost the campaign within it. And they've had 9 original ones, and then they've added in additional stories since then that feel, oh, we're continuing along. The stuff that we did before matters, but it's also new and exciting. So I don't know if they're going to do something along those lines, but the part that I was most excited about when what they've talked about is being able to play the campaign and play co-op with up to 3 people. There's plenty of times now where I'll play the StarCraft 2 campaign and the co-op and be like, okay, cool, I'll play campaign if I want to play by myself. I'll play co-op if I want to play with another person. And then one of our other friends shows up, and it's like, I guess we're either taking turns doing this, or we're just going to switch games altogether. And this idea of being able to have a 3-player co-op or a 3-player campaign makes it super exciting to me to go, oh, we can all keep playing this game. We don't have to switch over, especially for players that don't play RTSs as much as me, that go, I don't really want a ladder. I don't want to play that super, super tough competitive stuff. I like RTSs, but I don't want to play against other people. I'm happy to play against computers. And I feel like the games that we're developing with Stormgate and Gates of Pyre, there are those possibilities, right? Immortal already has a co-op mode built in where it's just a survival mission. The classic, like, essentially, hey, survive for 30 minutes. Waves of units are going to come at you. How are you going to do with that? There's also like an auto battler to kind of teach people in Immortal Gates of Pyre, where you start out with both you and your opponent have like the basic building to produce units, and you have to get certain amount of alloy that you're going to spend to create those units, and then they'll battle against each other and do a little micro battle to see, oh, who's stronger, who's weaker, how can you draft your units to beat theirs. So that's been a fun little, couple rounds play around with kind of thing. So I like the idea that the new generation of RTSs, the 2022 and beyond, right, are going to be developing with these ideas in mind that are, hey, we can adjust the way we think about real-time strategy and add these other gameplays, these other aspects to make it more social, because it is a very lonely game when you think about it. It's the hardest 1v1 experience out of any genre ever, right? Some people might make the argument for fighting games and stuff like that, but if you talk to any professional fighting game player and ask them about real-time strategies or StarCraft or something like that, they'll tell you, you know what, my game's hard, but it's got nothing compared to the actions and the speed that really top-level pros have to have in StarCraft. But, I also want to highlight a little bit, Stormgate's talking already about, hey, esports, grassroots, we'll see what happens directly into the client. That's going to be interesting. I think that's the way to go. Even for Immortal, right? They've had a couple pre-alpha tournaments. They've had a couple 2v2 tournaments. Like, just, hey, we're going to see what happens. Do it grassroots style. Don't pull the Riot. Don't pull the old school Blizzard that says, I'm going to control everything and do it. No. If it's going to have an esports, it's going to have an esports, and it's going to grow and develop for people wanting it. You can't be the ones to force it into an esport. So I'm excited. We've got to see some more content coming out from both stuff. So it's going to be really interesting to see, over the next couple of months when we start to get more gameplay from Stormgate, because a lot of people are, that skeptic. Okay, there's no gameplay yet other than just the little clips we're seeing now, the little screenshots. So it's like, where we're going. Where Immortal, you can get in the alpha. You can play it now. There's lots of key giveaways that are going on. I've been doing key giveaways over on YouTube, youtube.com/nanman, or there's going to be some giveaways over on Twitch, twitch.tv/therealnanman. But if you guys have any questions about the different RTSs, what are they? You know, what are you thinking about it? Have you been seeing any of this stuff? Are there specific things that are drawing you towards one over the other? Immortals seems very micro focused on how you have to play. There's little safeguards and forgivens for people. There's like an auto build feature that says if my macro is slipping and I'm not spending my resources, it'll just auto spend your resources for you. The hotkeys are easily set up that you just press 4 different buttons. Spacebar is your best friend in it, and it took a little to get used to, but now I'm just like, oh, okay. Z selects all my buildings that can produce units. C is sitting there so I can be able to build a new building, right? And going through. V lets me use all my spells and stuff like that. D selects my entire army, and I can sit here and run around and have fun with it. So I think I'm very excited for the future of RTS and to see where everything goes from here. Both of these games have got me very, very hyped and excited. So again, check out all my other links. Find out all the other cool stuff that I've got going on. You can see we've got stuff all over the place, all kinds of stuff, not just RTS related, not just Magic related, just kind of combining those two things together. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in, watching, listening, and I'll see you guys next game.